I mean, if you look at it, man, if you look at the top five, if I'm going to ask you a question. So give me the top, who you think is the top five teams. And B, you can answer this thing too. Who do you think is the top five teams return being the SEC this year? Give me your top five.
I mean, I'm going to go South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm going to go Alabama. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Okay.
I would have until recent news with Nico gone Tennessee, but I now will not. I don't know enough. I know that you went, and we'll let you talk about that in a little bit. I don't know enough about how I feel about Georgia coming in this year, not because Beck is gone, not because Gunnar Stockton is maybe not as proven as you would like to see, but because you still got Bobo. That's just a big question mark for me. I love the way that Florida came on at the end of the year last year, but am I ready to put them in my top five? Probably not. So it kind of leaves some room there by default with A&M. Where do you put A&M coming into the year? Where do you put LSU coming into the year? Where do you put Georgia? It's kind of a toss-up there for those last two spots, but definitely Bama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina. I definitely put those guys in the top five. And then the last two spots are just kind of up for grabs amongst A&M, Georgia, and
Longhorns.
Yeah. I mean, how are they going to fare with Arch this year? Arch is in the driver's seat. So maybe that locks down another position there in that top five.
It should. I would probably put Carolina and LSU as the only two teams I can for sure say will be in there. And then I think with Kirby, you got the best coach in college football. I think you have to put Georgia in there. And then I'll go with Ole Miss and Texas to round it off.
So in my top five, I was going to think Georgia, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Alabama, and then and it's still hard for me to get used to Texas being in the SEC. So I apologize, all you Longhorn guys. No, it's not a shot at you guys, but I just sometimes forget, even though we beat you twice last year. Go Dogs.
The only reason that I hesitate about Texas is when Arch played early in the season, you thought, well, this kid is just amazing. And then later in the year, even in the playoffs, when he would get an opportunity to get in there under center, it was unimpressive. There wasn't a dynamic shift. In fact, most of the time, the opposing defense thought if we box him in and keep these receivers covered, he's going to have to tuck it and run. And we just got to stop him from getting anything significant. And they did. They did.
Yeah. And look, I mean, I think you had a legitimate point a minute ago when you said, potentially Florida coming on, man. I mean, they could potentially be there. But my whole reasoning for asking that question is this. LSU has to play South Carolina. Yes, they play them at home, but like I said, South Carolina's coming in, man. They are going to be mad. And it's the third game of the season. Which was the third game of the season last year, right?
Yep.
It's going to be a game. They have to play Ole Miss. They play them at Ole Miss. And then you have to go to Tuscaloosa. And you got to play Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Man, that's 3 games right there. And it's hard. I mean, you got 3 teams that are potentially the top 5 in the SEC, 3 of the top 5. And, yes, you get to play Florida at home. And, I mean, they got a tough schedule next year, man. And so Brian Kelly better he better get his team ready. He's got the quarterback. If he can get the other things in place, man, good gracious. I really believe LSU has the potential to be really special next year. I'm not going to say they're going to be as special as the team with Joe Burrow. That was one of the best college football teams I've ever seen in my life on both sides of the field. The only team I would put up close to that would be the very next year with Alabama when
Bryce Young or Mac Jones?
No, it was Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones took over that program, man, and oh my gosh. I mean, both of those teams, man, that LSU and then the next year that Alabama, those are some of the best teams I've ever seen.
That's Heisman Devonta Smith, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an elite squad.
Yep.
Yeah, that was both of them teams were, I mean, and I'd still probably say that LSU was probably the best team. That LSU team was probably the best overall from top to bottom, both sides of the ball. They were just sick.
Absolutely.
Two first round receivers, the first overall quarterback, a first round running back. Like it was an elite offense. And then you got all those. You got Derek Stingley, top 3 overall corner. I mean, there's so many players on that defense that we could talk all day about that team.
Yeah, that was a very good team.